Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
So, as earlier we discussed regarding petitions and various kinds of petitions, among them I was talking about PIL, and similarly, the second assignment was related to allotting topics. So, the structure about your assignment is since we are talking about now PIL, and then we'll go through the petitions, how PIL petition is prepared, and then we'll also go through the petitions filed by the different applicants since 1950 to 2025. So till now, whatever petitions are filed in regard to public interest, we will cover through the research. So that is how we are structuring the assignments. So today I will discuss about the PIL, and then we'll discuss about the petition format, and then we'll talk one of the topic, and then that's how assignment will be allotted. So shall we start now? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So instead of asking what exactly PIL is, I thought to just mention few things and we'll move towards the practical approach instead of going through the theoretical approach. I have started to prepare the whole assignments in this regard, and now let's go through this document which I have shared in WhatsApp group too. So this is basically about PIL. So let's start. So the concept of PIL was influenced by the American jurisprudence, and it is designed to provide legal access to underrepresented groups. So what are those underrepresented groups? Such as poor, racial minorities, consumers, and those who are advocating for environmental causes. And if we talk about in Indian context, so the PIL is evolved as a result of judicial innovation rather than legislative mandate. It remains undefined in statutory law, with its contour shaped largely by judicial interpretation and actions of the courts. So now, if we talk about in general parlance, PIL, we have different set of codes from the commission to the forum, then the judicial commission, and then the tribunals, and then trial courts, and then coming up to the high court and supreme court. So any such issue which arises at large number, any issue, if you find large number of people are affected, and all those affected people have the same cause to be resolved, and that could be done through the judicial order, then we approach court. So through the Constitution of India, we approach the court because the Constitution of India has given two options: either to go through the Article 32 or to go through Article 226. So mostly in state matters, when the matter is related to the specific state, then we have to approach High Court. And the if matter is related to the nation or the people of interstate matters, then we approach Supreme Court. So now if we go through this, PIL represents a significant shift from traditional rules of locus standi, enabling concerned citizens to file petitions on behalf of marginalized communities, vulnerable populations, and for broader societal concerns. However, the courts require such petitions serves as legitimate public purpose and not to be filed with frivolous or malicious intent. So, any petition which is filed by the applicant either to High Court or Supreme Court, the first question arises about the locus standi. Suppose large number of people are affected by one particular issue and you think that the government is not listening and it must be represented through the before the court and there must be judicial order, then in such a case the question arises, who will file petition? You see, there's a national highway and you find some of the part of the highway or the road has a big hole, or there is some issue. So you think that if large number of vehicle goes through this road, there will be several issues related to accident. So you think that it must be repaired, or you think that you must inform the highway authority, and you find that they are not listening, and the issue is in such a way that that is not I mean the government authority is not able to resolve this issue. You have also complained in using various modes, but still the issue is not resolved. Then the only remedy arises with us is to approach court. Now the matter is not about the specific people, specific person. It is matter about the whole person, means the large number of person. So it is in interest of the people now. So among them, any of the person can visit the court or file petition. Now the question arises again about locus standi. Judges mostly ask in such a case that why are you filing such petition? Are you a victim of this matter? So even though you are not a victim, but still on behalf of the large number of victims, you can approach the court and you can explain your locus standi. So is it clear? Yes, tell me any of you.
Yes, sir.
So even large number of people are affected and you are not, then still you can file petition and explain your locus standi that on behalf of the victims you are filing such petition to get the judicial order in favor of the victims to resolve such issue. Now, scope of issue addressed through PIL. So these are the general issues, but these are not the limited issues. We may have more and more issues to which large number of people are affected. So in case if you think that the children are neglected, if we talk about their education, if we talk about their underage labor, And if you think that there should be a welfare work, then you can file PIL. Even for the bonded labor, earlier the bonded labor was prevalent. Later on, the bonded labor was abolished just because PIL was filed in various high courts. So, related to environmental degradation, food adulteration, gender violence, atrocities against women, preservation of cultural and historical monuments, denial of minimum wages, inhuman conditions in prisons and detention centers. So, these are the general issues to which VIL was earlier filed, but still, these are not the actual issue. I mean, we may have more and more issue as well. We are not limited to file under these issues. So again, the question arises why PIL is a vital judicial instrument. So the very we talk about the powerful action that is through PIL. It is a powerful judicial remedy, and the Constitution has given such right to file writ under Article 32 and get the remedy through various writs, such as if you go through Article 26 32, you find various kinds of writs are there. So among them you can get favorable order as per the nature of the matter. So that is how we talk about the vital uh, the vital role of this PIL. And again, if we talk about significant, so there various judgments are there. Husainara Khatun versus State of Bihar. If you go through this matter, you find this is the snap where brought attention to the plight of under trial prisoners and led to the recognition of the right to a speedy trial under Article 21. So the if you go through the Article 21 talks about personal rights and liberties, right to livelihood. So again, if we talk about right to livelihood, so every person who are under trial and serving jail under judicial custody, so they have right to life, but the prisoners have the various issues like health issue, food issue, they are tortured. So one of the PIL was filed and it was asked to recognize the right to a speedy trial, those who are under trial prisoners. So PIL was one of the way to approach the court. And there was another case, MC Mehta. If you go through this case, series of cases on environmental protection, including the Ganga pollution, vehicular emissions, and if you go through the Bhopal gas plant, you would find gas leak case. Another Vishakha versus State of Rajasthan, Prakash Singh versus Union of India, Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India, Shaira Bano versus Union of India. It talks about triple talaq. Indian Young Lawyers Association versus State of Kerala, which allows entry of women into Sabarimala Temple, Common Cause versus Union of India, and the recent PIL between 2022-2025. So these are the PILs filed by the applicant. Now, Constitution of India giving such option to file PIL under various provisions. The first one, Article 2032, which empowers individuals to approach the Supreme Court for the enforcement of fundamental rights. Then Article 226 grants similar power to High Courts. So under Article 226, you can approach High Court, not the Supreme Court. And then Part 3rd, which talks about fundamental rights, especially Article 14 and Article 21 and Article 23 and then Article 32. These are related to person directly under fundamental rights. Now the last one is part 4 talks about directive principles of state power policy, means every state has its own laws and power to uh, prepare and enforce particular laws for the particular community or sector, and it is known as uh, protective discrimination. Suppose there is a minority or majority person. Suppose minorities are facing some issues related to job, related to the education, and if government enforces such law or give such particular benefit or schemes to the minorities, but not the majority. So you think that there may be discrimination by the government? No, that is a protective discrimination because the government has been given power under Article 51A, which talks about principles of state policies. So even through this, government can use this uh, power and do some better thing for the large number of people and for their interest. And then we'll talk about the how it is filed. So you can go through this document, that is for your general knowledge. I did not explain more because we'll go through the practically. Now I'm going to share a general petition format recommended by Supreme Court of India. So this is a format of writ petition. First of all, any petition when we start preparing, either it is about writ petitions or the PIL, we have to follow the guidelines of the format. So how we can start drafting? The question, the very basic question is how we have to start drafting. First of all, we should have a common knowledge about the topic. If you take any topic, like previously I was in a matter of waqf. So the waqf PIL was filed by various applicant, activists, advocates, and then it was up to 234 petitions, I guess. So all those petitions are in similar format. So when we start preparing petition, we have to gather data in such a way to prepare facts, synopses, dates. So suppose you take out any issue and you think that you can challenge before the court and get the favorable direction, then you have to start writing, researching, gathering lots of data, informations, compile it as per the dates. Suppose the issue arises since 1950, then you have to start gathering data since 1950 to till now. By the dates, you have to cover events. So on such particular date, these issue arises. On such particular date, this kind of incident happened. Then the government had given directions. Then the law was amended. Then these laws were challenged. That is how you have to gather data. And once you get the data, you have to start writing facts. And then once you start writing whole facts, then you have to start by preparing synopsis and then list of dates. So the list of dates is like a tracking record of the data. So by the dates, you can specify, explain every possible issues arises during or between these dates. So the synopsis and list of dates, these two documents should be ready, and then original petition. The format of petition is this: write in the name of in the Supreme Court of India, original, whether it is a civil jurisdiction or criminal jurisdiction. That is how it is written. And then in the matter of, so you are always talking about PR. When you start filing PIL, you challenge the government order, government scheme, government rules. So the petitioner would be you or any organization, and respondent would be Union of India in case of central government. And this will be the heading: petition under article so and so of Constitution of India for issuance of writ or any other nature of the matter under the article of Constitution of India, and to whom it is to be addressed: to the Chief Justice of India and his Lordship's companion justices of Supreme Court of India. And then, now these are the most important aspects. We have to talk about facts of the case. As earlier I have told you, to prepare our data, then compiling those data, you can prepare facts of the case. You can also emphasize separately and take out some questions of law so that you can draw the attentions of the court about your facts, about those questions which you are going to emphasize or highlight in your petition. And then you have to talk about grounds. So the grounds are the most important facts. Under the grounds, you have to mention that why you are filing these petitions, under which grounds you are challenging, why you think that these matter comes under the public interest. And then government, you can talk about the government, Whether the if you think that you need to mention about the government, you can talk about it, unless you can skip it. Then the next question arises about prayer. What are you asking by putting facts before the court, talking about grounds, what exactly you want from the court? So that's what you have to mention in your petition. So that is how you have to prepare fact full petition. Along with the petition, you need to file additional document called affidavit, in which you will take oath that these petitions are filed by me. I am aware of the fact of the matters, and I am in full confident or full sound mind while filing this petition, that I am aware of the all those facts which are, and those facts and allegations of government are made by me. That's how you have to affirm in your affidavit. And then the writ petition requires uh, the tickets as per the court directions, and then you have to provide the copies of the writ petitions in case it is a writ petitions or PIL, and also court fees required up to as per the court norms, 50 rupees or the 100 rupees. The whole petition must cover with index, cover, cover page. If there's any additional application, you'll have to attach it, and then memo of appearance, you need to mention it there. So these are the documents along with the affidavit, along with the writ petition. Now this is a format of index. You need to mention synopsis and list under which page, writ petition and affidavit under which page. If they are annexures, then they mention the page number from this page to this page, annexures, and further if any additional applications is there, then you need to mention it. And this is a again cover page, and that's how I'm going to share this PDF file. Now let me show you exactly how petitions are filed, I mean prepared. So one of the sample petition, this doesn't have cover or the index like that, but I'm talking about here synopsis, how the synopsis is prepared. This is the list of dates. This is the original application. These are the petitioners, and each petitioner has its own respondent, different respondent, I guess. And this is a heading: review petition under Article 137 of Constitution of India. Again, this is addressed to the CGI, and the petition starts with like this. So this is a general writ petition format, and how this is written. Now you need to note down few things in PIL. So when we start writing PIL, we have to write synopsis, then list of dates, but not like this in table format. Then on the left side dates, and the right side events. Left side date, right side events in table format, and then the petition would be like this: petitioner versus respondent. And then when you start writing petition, you have to introduce the petitioner details, credentials. So how you have to start? You have to start writing that, suppose I am the petitioner. So now the petitioner's credentials will be introduced here like this: the present petition, the present PIL is filed in public interest on behalf of the applicant, Mr. Fayaz Khalid, is is one of the advocate and public activist, and he has previously filed various petitions in public interest. So that is how we are going to tell the court that he doesn't have in its personal motive to file this petition, but filing this petition on behalf of the large number of victims. So also we have to mention that the Fayaz Khalid uh, Aadhaar number is this, PAN number is this, address and this. So we have to write the credentials, and then we have to draw attention towards the actual petition objective, that this petition is about the, like we talk about any topic. Suppose earlier we had number of PIL petition, like earlier if we talk about WAF. So even if we talk about the WAF, then we can mention by highlighting that the present PIL is being filed in interest of large number of people affected by these amended laws, which are passed by the government of India against the minority peoples. And I'm going to draw attention by our facts and credentials that these laws are affected. These laws are affecting directly to the people. They are uh, contributing their property in Waqf, and the government is directly interfering their private affairs. So that is how we have to highlight some objective of the petitions in our petition. So we have to start like that, and then we will continue with the facts of the case. So we have to start writing one by one, paragraph wise facts, and those facts would be as per the list of dates. So if the dates begins since 1960, so in your facts of the case, you have to talk about the first paragraph would be of 1960. Whatever the incident and the things occurred, you have to talk about that. And by going through each fact, you have to talk about the different issues. You do not have to repeat again and again the same thing, but talk about the different issues and facts. Once you write the facts, write the grounds. On which ground you are filing this petition, on which ground you are thinking that the government of India is not addressing this issue, on which ground you think that the laws earlier passed by the government of India is not favoring the people. So though you have to talk about the grounds, and then if you think that the you need to you need to manage allegations as well, then you can talk about the governments against the government. So see, the grounds is written like this: A, B, C, D. So it is up to you how you write. The ground should be on which you are filing or putting allegations. And this is how prayer is written. So that is all. Now we have to do two things. First, to choose the topic today, so that from tomorrow you can start writing, gathering data, having your own research. Every individual, every intern who are having internship should be having their own data, not the copied from other fellow students. So all those who are participating, who are having internship, should be having unique content by having on personal research on the particular topic. That is the first thing. Second thing is, I have planned to write a book on this issue. I mean, on this PIL petitions. So we'll cover since 1950 to 2025 whatever PIL was filed either before the High Court or the Supreme Court. So we have approx 28 or 30 students. So each student would be given separately years. So suppose if we start with 1950, so the one student would be granted 1950 to 1955. So within 5 years, whatever PIL was filed by the public, either in Supreme Court or the High Court of any state, you have to gather that information. How many PIL was filed? What are those PIL? What are the titles of those PIL? And then you have to get the fact of the matter, on which topic the PIL was filed and what was the facts and grounds. So that is how you have to research. Student leaders would be there to allot the years, different years to different student. So they have to cover accordingly. Now you would be given 15 days. See, since today is 8th and we have less days, so only 10 days, 10 or 12 days would be granted. Within 12 days, you have to gather all those information as per your years granted to you. So as I said, if you are granted from since 1950 to 1955, then you have to confine to having your research part for 5 years only. Within 5 years, how many PIL was filed at any court, any high court of India as per the state or Supreme Court. So you have to gather that data. Not only gather data, but also gather various things like the title of the topic, who filed the PIL, what was the fact of the matter, what was the grounds, what was the prayer. So that is how you have to collect information and prepare in Microsoft Word file. And then the student leader would be there. As per the quantity of student, the years would be divided. Now coming to the topic, what exactly topic we have to choose is for today. Any Let me check it. The topic on which we have to start writing PIL. So I'm giving you 3 to 4 names. See, the recent matter is pending before Supreme Court is about Waqf. Earlier it was about CA, and then one of the topic was Places of Worship Act, and then in this holiday session, one of the PIL was accepted that is related to amendments. So these are the central government issues related to amendments of the matter. And just give me 2 minutes. I'm going to suggest one topic on which you have to start gathering information. Okay, so the topic which we have to choose, that is prisoner conditions in overcrowded jail. Are you getting this topic? Those inmates who are in jail, and since the jail has its capacity of suppose 2000 prisoners in one jail, but here you find 7000 or 10,000 prisoners, it means there is a overcrowding of prisoners, so their conditions are worst. Topic would be prisoner conditions and overcrowding. So let me explain this topic. Suppose there is a Tihar jail has its capacity about 10,000 prisoners, but there are 30,000 prisoners. So it means there's overcrowding. First thing. Secondly, their health issue would be deterrent. They would not be getting the basic rights, and there would be severe human right violations because of overcrowding in prison. So the custodial death would be there. There may be brutality by the administrators. There may be there may not be good meal. There may be denial of basic rights. There will be severe health issue for the disease, various kinds of disease among the prisoners. So basically, you have to talk about prisoners overcrowding issues, health issues, their common disease, and you have to challenge it before the Supreme Court, that in various jail, because since you are challenging Supreme Court, it means you are talking about all jail of India, each state's jail. So you need to find the statistics about the crowds in jail. So you'll have to start with particular state, and then you have to cover each state. How many jails are there? What are the general capacity of those jails, and presently how many prisoners are there in jail? How many under trials are there in jail? How many are serving the sentences, either life sentences, 10 years, 20 years, whatever that is. So there are the two categories: life sentences, secondly, under trials. The under trials means if the matter, since the matter is pending, they would be in jail. If the bail is granted or the matter is resolved or settled or the find innocent, then the under trials would be released. But those who are serving jail or life sentence because of conviction, it means they are directed to serve jail. It is like punishment for them. It is a punishment given by the court. So you have to categorize it that the particular, suppose you start with the Delhi court. So you need to find how many jails are there in Delhi, how many, what are the capacities in each jail for the prisoners, how many under trials are serving jail, how many prisoners are convicted and serving life sentences. So that's how you can prepare statistics, and then you have to check how many, whether they are the overcrowding jail or not. If that is so, how many prisoners are residing in particular jail, and not as per the directed by the court. So you have to talk about it, and then after you go through the final conclusion, then we have to file petition by framing issues. So once we start framing issues, then you need to talk about synopsis, list of dates. So when you talk about the list of dates, it means you have to talk about the uh, since the since the jail was constructed. So suppose after the independence, if the jail was constructed, how many? What was the capacity of that jail? So if you talk about after independence, so you would be generally talking about 1947 or 1950. So in case you choose the date since 1947, so the 1947 to till now, how many jails were constructed, and what are the general capacity of those jails, and further, each year what were the additions or the modifications, and what were the government directions. So that is how you have to talk about the history and the present scenario of those jails. So if you talk about the history, you generally emphasize on the government planning, whether the government is reviewing each jail or having some welfare activity for them or not, whether the government is releasing any schemes or not, whether the government is planning and funding for the for the prisoners' welfare, their fundamental rights, right to life, or not. So, as per the government activities, you can track their records, and then you can frame your issues. So, in your list of dates, you can talk about its amendments to the laws favoring these jail and prisoners, and what are those challenges faced by the jails, and government did not take any kind of step. So that is how you have to frame each and everything. And then when you start writing about the facts of the case, then in the facts of the case, you can talk about as per the list of dates by framing each paragraph containing all those issues, modification, constructions, additions, and the government of India has passed, or the state government, whether have passed any laws or not. So that is how you have to gather the data. It's not easy to prepare a single petition just by talking about few things. Since you are representing all those issues before the Supreme Court, you must be aware of the each facts and the historical data because the counter question would be arising by the judges. So you must be having prior knowledge about it. So that is how you have to start writing facts and then grounds on which grounds you think that there's a overcrowding, there's a prisoners health issues are deterrent. So that is how you can prepare grounds and then avowments and then prayers. So for today, the topic I have given or assigned is that prisoners, and so the topic was prisoners conditions and overcrowding in jail. Now tomorrow your duty is to gather data, informations, a lot of informations, and then prepare as per the list of dates, and then day after tomorrow all of you are required to, so I'm giving, let me check the calendar. So leaders are required to note down these things as per the dates they are required. Interns are required to submit their assignment on 11th of June. All the interns are required to submit list of dates. On 13th of June, all the interns are required to submit synopsis. On 17th, all the interns are required to submit facts of the case. On 19th, sorry, on 20th, all the students are required to submit grounds. And on 23rd, all those students who are preparing this petition shall have to file final petition containing everything: cover page, index, list of dates, synopsis, original petition, including prayer, affidavit, and annexes. Leaders, did you note down?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So these are related to the petition. Now, since every would be going through each and every details related to this PIL, all of you would be having a basic knowledge how many petitions are filed. Sorry, how many uh, jails were constructed, and what was the case or what was the uh, government of India laws related to these prisoners. Now I was talking about the another assignment that is related to the PIL. So I would be having a meeting with the student leaders and would be deciding that how many years would be granted to each student so that they could have their own separate research on the particular PIL matters, that we have to gather information how many PIL were filed during these years, and then by collecting all those information we have to prepare a separate facts of the matter and then the petitioner's name and every details so that we can compile in a book Understood. So for the second assignment, I will be discussing tomorrow with the student leaders. In the meantime, all those students are instructed to uh, gather information, have your own research on this particular topic so that you can prepare a petition. Maybe for the next class, I would be discussing. In the meantime, whatever the dates are given as per the dates, you have to submit your assignments, and then I will be discussing in going through your petitions, going through your whatever the data you submit. I will be going through each information and reviewing your assignments. In the meantime, I would be talking about another uh, petition, that is agreements under Indian Contract Acts. So how the contract acts are giving right, or the giving significantly laws about preparing or framing agreement contracts, and the types of contracts we prepare in different organizations and companies. Okay, so I will be scheduling for the for this agreement uh, purpose, for this how agreement is prepared. I will be uh, announcing different classes through the group, and we'll talk about it. If you have any question, you can ask me.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
When we'll get our registration link, sir?
On the portal,
Yes, sir.
definitely tomorrow.
And one more question, sir.
Mhm.
So about article that you told we have to write an article.
Yes, so the article, that's what I was saying. Instead of talking about the article is for the particular topic, particular subject. So I have chosen the subject PIL, and covering since the independent of India to till now. So each of you would be granted years to have research and prepare article on the particular PIL issues. You have in your article, you have to talk about PIL, how many PILs were filed during these years, and what are the topics, what are the issues related to those PIL, and what was the remedy granted by the courts, who filed the PIL, what was the fact of the case. So these would be covered under your article.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so we will be deciding which year and how many years would be granted to each student, and accordingly, and I will be announced in the group with the student name. Yes, any other information you want, or any of you have any question? Yes, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, actually, could you please distribute the format of entire PIL which you are like showing us today?
Sorry,
Could you please distribute the entire format of PIL PDFs like in our group, WhatsApp group?
you
Because we
want
don't have any
you
material.
want me to distribute the amendments of the PIL?
No, no, not the amendments, but actually the PDFs which you are like showing us today.
Okay, okay. These PIL will be, yes, the whatever I have shown through this screen, I will be definitely sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Dhruv Agarwal saying, can you please send a message in a group properly explaining the task and all the details? So the student leader would be sharing all these details about today's assignment details. So in case any issue arises, student leader would be is there to resolve issues. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.